Some Wall Street watchdogs may have been asleep at the wheel, as John just said, but it was Wall Street itself that the president took to task on Thursday with a speech about financial regulatory reform, tackling Republican criticisms of the bill head on. Let's bring in our chief White House correspondent, Jake Tapper, for more on that. And Jake, let's begin with the president's speech. It was attended by many bank leaders, including the head of Goldman Sachs. What kind of reaction did he get from Wall Street?
I would say it was a subdued, polite reception. Remember, many of these executives have been fighting the proposed reforms tooth and nail, dispatching what President Obama calls a battalion of lobbyists on Capitol Hill. They think the president's reforms will cost them potentially billions of dollars and also will make them less competitive internationally. So it was polite, but you have to keep in mind that these guys oppose what the president's trying to do.
And while Congress is working on this reform bill, Jake, the president took on Republicans about whether or not this bill will actually lead to more financial bailouts like the one we just had to go through.
That's right. One of the big issues here is whether or not this $50 billion bank fund that would be paid for not by taxpayers but by the big banks themselves, whether or not that fund for future liquidations creates the potential for more bailouts. That's what Republicans have been saying, and the president responded directly to that charge.
Some on Wall Street forgot that behind every dollar traded or leveraged, there's a family looking to buy a house, or pay for an education, open a business, save for retirement.
The administration said it wants to end bailouts. I say to them, prove it.
That makes for a good soundbite, but it's not factually accurate.
So that you have Senator Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader, charging that this will create the potential for future bailouts, and President Obama saying that's just not the case. Elizabeth.
Big point of contention, Jake. And George, I want to bring you in because, of course, now the big debate is whether or not they'll begin to debate on Monday on this bill. What's going to happen?
The Senate leader, Harry Reid, has set up a test vote on Monday, and that's really a way to force the negotiations. Still a good chance that before Monday, the bipartisan negotiations will reach some kind of a deal, in part because the White House is likely to give up on that $50 billion fund that Jake just mentioned. But Jake, one other question for you. I wonder, and I know you're going to be talking about this a lot more Sunday on This Week, the president's on a roll right now on this issue, many others, past health care, but their poll numbers are still stuck. How worried is the White House about that?
Well, you're absolutely right. He's had a good couple months. We've covered some bad months before that, but healthcare reform and some other big achievements. But they know that as long as unemployment remains high, and it's currently at 9.7%, they have a ceiling when it comes to poll numbers. They're just not going to go ahead those low 50s, above those low 50s. So they view all these achievements within that view.